Hey guys, Shawn Ziem, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor, and the host of the Webtalk Legends Podcast. This is number 33 on the year. We're all about providing value, but also having our guests share their stories. And we learn from their trials, tribulations, things that happened in their past, things that they do on a daily that you can actually implement and learn something. That's the goal of what we're doing today. Well, I know a lot of you are going to be popping in all around the world. Don't forget, drop a comment where you're watching from. Engage. If you like what we're saying every once in a while, drop a thumbs up. If you don't like, a thumbs down. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. We might answer them during the live or definitely on the replay. And if you're catching us on the replay, hashtag replay. I want to bring on a guest of mine, Louis Vega. What's going on, Louis? How are you, man?
What's up, Shawn? I'm doing good, man. Thanks so much for having me.
No, thanks for taking some time out and sharing your story. Before we even get after it, who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, absolutely, Shawn. So again, thanks again for having me. My name is Lou Vega from Superhomes, yoursuperhome.com. We are a smart home and security company based out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I've been in the technology space for the last 14 years, serving in all different industry verticals. So today I'm just really excited to talk to you, man, and get to, know your viewers a little bit more and, how I can help everybody.
Yeah, man. A lot of people that are tuning in and they're popping in. I see a bunch of them coming in. And don't forget, guys, engage us. We love it. I would love, and they're all entrepreneurs. And that word entrepreneur, how important is that to you?
It's really important, man, because not everybody fits in the same shapes, right? So we say, like a round peg in a square hole or whatever it is, right? So I knew kind of early on that I always had a knack for doing something extra, doing something different. And I never wanted to kind of fit in the same mold as everybody else. I was always a little weird in high school and always was cracking jokes, kind of the class clown. And I've always done something else, and of course to keep your parents proud, you make sure you go to college, you try to get you a good job, and you check off all the boxes. Got married to my wonderful, beautiful wife. And you start thinking about all the things that you can do as an entrepreneur and what that allows you to kind of expand into, because there's nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5 job, but it isn't for everyone. And so I think the number one thing about being an entrepreneur and why it's so important to me, to get right to your question, is I think it's the freedom to do what you want when you want to do it, kind of pave your own path, but even more importantly, kind of leaving your mark on the world in whatever way that is, and through your business and through your skills and relationships and all that. Because as an entrepreneur, you have the ability to make impact in some type of segmentation, some industry. And I think the most amazing innovations in the world have come through entrepreneurship and by people paving their own path for something that, some vision that they have. And so it is very important to me to do that because it does fulfill something for me. So it's a little selfish, but at the same time, I hope in order to take those skills and kind of give back to other people and create value anywhere that I can. So I think that's a unique thing about entrepreneurship and why it's so important, is being able to kind of pave your own path and create value for other people.
Love it, man. I know that you have the passion for what you do. And when we had phone calls, it is exudes from you. And I like speaking with and working with and collaborating with those that are the same way. Because, yes, I found, and you said it, relationships. How does someone like Louis Vega with your smart home, how are you building relationships today compared to when you first started with what your business is like?
Yeah, it's crazy. I've always been an extrovert. My wife's an introvert, right? And so as an extrovert, it's like super easy for me to make
Yeah.
friends, right? It's super easy for me to like have conversations with people, random people. I love going to networking events where some people, especially like my wife, she would run away, from those types of things. It gets a little uncomfortable. I love it and I thrive in it. And so today, the way that I make connections with people is through just trying to create value. And I think that a lot of people, especially when entrepreneurs get started, they want to like try to get a sale, like me. Focus on what I have to offer you, as opposed to thinking about what you can offer other people. And when you switch to the other side of it, and how can I help you, everything else falls in line, right? And so I find that my connections are just built through trying to create as much value as I can, and delivering on my word and delivering on the solutions that we promise to our customers. And so I talk about that on social media, right? I talk about that on my Facebook, on my Instagram. I show testimonials, and I go to a lot of networking events too. So that's another big one for me. Expos and real estate, networking events and that kind of thing are very useful to my business. And so that's how I make my connections today.
No, that was well said, man. It's definitely something that is a skill that some of you have, some of you have to work on. Yeah, my wife's the same way. She doesn't like getting in front of the microphone or going out to big groups of people. She'd rather sit, do her own thing. But that's
Yeah.
why you're married. You have that.
Hey, man, it's yin and yang,
It would
right?
be the same, right? It would be too much if you had to have the show. Both of you had the
That's,
show.
that's right. Yeah, exactly, man. And you have to, there's balance. And that's what makes the world go around. We have the balance of the people who are introverts and are coding, or they're at a computer all day and they don't want to be around people. And they have a special gift that they give to the world every single day. And then the extroverts get to go on the outside and build those connections, right? So everybody has their own role and plays their own part. So,
How did you get into what you're doing now?
yeah. Yeah, so I've been in technology for like the last 14 years. I went to school for technology, and so I've always been in some type of technical role. Even my first jobs out of high school were working for two stockbrokers, and I was like their IT guy, right? They're like in-house IT guy. So I've always been in technology in some way, shape, or form. I've also been in multimedia. I actually have a degree in multimedia and telecommunications.
Mm.
So communications, the whole world of technology and communications has been pretty much everything I've been doing since my early days of high school, when I started to get a knack for what I loved and what I like. And it's kind of evolved. So today, Super Home, Smart Home Solutions is really about, creating a different living experience. And being in IT has kind of fueled my love for the smart home, and having wireless in my house and changing the lights around and opening the doors and the locks and all that kind of cool stuff I was doing for myself. And then I realized that there was a need in the market. I was really early in learning this technology. And, I used to work for Apple back in the day. And, I used to do business to business consulting and pre-sales technical consulting. So I've always been in like a technical conversation. And so I took it to the smart home world, which was, again, something I started at my own home, started doing for friends and family. And then in my real estate community, they really reached out and said, hey, we really could use your services for surveillance and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of been this trickle, this like, interesting zigzag, but really on the same path. Like I'm kind of going left and right into different technologies. I have a background in mobile technology for iPhones and iOS, and I'm a certified Apple technician. And so I've always been in this weird like technology zigzag pattern, and I've been applying all of my years of experience now to my company, doing smart home and surveillance, and kind of integrating the phones, the technologies that we have in our hands, and translating it into our homes. And so that's kind of the path it's taken thus far.
I like those plugs, the Alexa plugs. Hey, turn on light. The
Definitely.
technology is phenomenal. You don't have to flip a switch now. It's more convenient, and it looks clean. It looks good in homes today. And I
Yeah.
really applaud you, because it's something that is needed. And then I like that surveillance. That's a good thing for investors that are watching. You need
Major.
to look over your properties. You don't want to go all over the, maybe city or towns or wherever your locations are. You can have it all at your, probably at what, in your cell phone.
Right in your cell phone, right? That's what we're doing. We're bringing the technologies to your phone so you can remotely manage your properties, your home, your business from anywhere in the world. The objective is for us is to kind of bring the technology, has gotten a lot more affordable. And so it's really about piecing together the right technologies to fit your specific needs. And that's what we're all about. Sometimes I refer to myself as like a Swiss Army knife, right? In the smart home world. There's nothing that I can't piece together for you to fit your particular use case. And so it makes me unique in that I have different backgrounds. but the technology has been so much more accessible. And to your point, you can go from just getting a Alexa, smart plug, to controlling like these colorful lights behind me. And even my key light that I have here is on a smart switch that I can command with my voice and turn on my studio. So there's a million different ways to do this. And I'm just excited to bring the technology to everybody, man. It's exciting.
Here's something, and I want to go down that path with being IT with the stockbrokers in the past. But before we can get into that, with video, a lot of people are like, I can't get in front of the camera. I need to have the lighting. I need to have the microphones and all that stuff. In reality, you don't need all the lighting and the microphones. You just have to put yourself out there. What allowed you to do that and start using video?
Yeah, man, it was really easy for me only because, well, number one, I love being in front of the camera. I had a video production company for 10 years that I did pretty much everything you can think of, from commercials to sweet 16s and weddings. I've done all kinds of video production, so I've always been heavily behind the camera. But again, with my kind of personality, it's been easy for me to do it in front of the camera. Now, when it comes to the technology portion and having like all this stuff, right? I have three different microphones, lights and speakers and interfaces. And, this is all because, first of all, number one, I went to school for this, right? So I have a background. So it's easy for me to do because I have a background in it.
Right.
Number two, my wife is a music producer. So I'm currently in the music studio right now. So I have everything we could possibly need here. So we developed all these, pieces of equipment because it's necessary for our businesses.
Right.
But I want to encourage everybody who has any consideration of creating content for the web, for social media, for YouTube or whatever, to grab your cell phone, which is what I'm using right now. This camera, right, that you see is not a webcam. It is literally my cell phone that I'm using as a webcam. So there's a million ways to do that. And just pick up the phone, set it up on a stand, and the phone is all you need. The microphones are amazing. The cameras are amazing. Get a light from Amazon, or even if you got a nice lamp, you can take the shade off and just give you, it's just something. It's super simple to do. And then as you get more experience and you start making more investments in different pieces where you need it, you can expand it as you need to go. So don't get discouraged.
No, well said. A lot of people, again, have that fear, but I just get in front of the camera and watch it change you. Just try, because it helps. I've done it since 2018. I never thought how powerful it was before then. I was like, even doing a selfie with someone at a meeting. People are like, why would you selfie? That's a girl thing. When I was first doing it in 2018.
Wow, how about that?
And I'm like, oh my God, this is powerful, because then you actually prove you have that meeting instead of saying, oh yeah, I met up with Lou Vega today. I really did, because we're in the selfie together. That's
right.
Visual proof. And I think
it's hard.
It's something that people should utilize every once in a while.
I agree. It is hard. I mean, it's the story that we tell ourselves that either we don't look good on the camera, or we are going to stumble over our words. But just take 5 minutes and practice. You can practice by yourself, and do some takes, record it, and then take it from there. I see we got a comment here that someone said that they need a good mic.
Good mic. Any recommendations?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a million of them. I went to school for audio and multimedia, right? So I have a million recommendations. But honestly, the best mic is the one that you always have. The best camera is the one that you always have with you. And so this iPhone, you'd be crazy impressed with the quality that you can get out of just having an iPhone or a smartphone, and especially the newer smartphones. If you want a specific mic recommendation, this mic is an industry standard. This is the Shure SM7B. Shure, Shure. It is the leading industry standard in broadcast, and they're used in podcast and radio stations. Especially the mics by Blue. Blue, BLUE mics are really great. They're very affordable. You can plug them in USB and have a field day with it. But honestly, you don't necessarily need it unless you're looking for broadcast quality sound, which I hope I'm coming across kind of good right now.
Yeah.
You don't need that. You just can start with whatever you have. And then when you need to move into it, you can make some investments.
Yeah, it's definitely something, if they can hear you, is a very important thing early on for your content. Yes. I mean, I had a laptop I was using in the past, and it was kind of getting older, and it was kind of shaking a little bit, the image, but just the content. People are like, why would you just put that out? Why would you put the content out there? Because it's just the content. It's what you're saying is important, not just, what you, how you look and all that stuff. That's add-ons. That's extra. You can make
Yeah.
yourself look great, but it's the content that is the important thing I've found over the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, just doing it is more important than not doing it all. If you're trying to get it perfect, you're going about it the wrong way, because we have to fail forward, right? You're not going to know where you're lacking until you actually try it. So, yeah, I think just grabbing a camera, testing it out, seeing how it goes, and then you'll figure out what you need to do from there. I mean, I have between my computer and my microphones, I probably have like $4,000 to $5,000 worth of stuff in front of me. That
Right.
is way overkill, because it's just because it's important to me and how it goes, but for you, take the phone out of your pocket, hit recording, let's go. That's how
Yeah,
you.
that's so true. And this is phenomenal. If you guys have questions, drop them in the comments. We definitely we're going to help you with anything we can. Now, let's shift gears. Let's talk about hobbies, man. What are some things that Lou does for fun outside of work?
Yeah. So outside of work, let's see. I spent a lot of time with my wife and my dog, Layla. My wife Karen and my dog Layla. We like to spend time together. I tend to be able to work from home a good amount of time, so I get to spend a lot of time doing that. We love to go out to eat and dine at restaurants. Take drives, look at real estate. We like to take vacations as often as we can to kind of get away and see family, and a lot of family in Florida. So yeah, we like to do that. But I spend a lot of time just I personally like to socialize with my friends and my family. So I'll just spin up random meetings with my friends, like, hey, do you want to go, grab some lunch and just kind of talk about our business, or talk about our families or what we're doing. Those are the things I love to do, man. Just hanging out with friends and family. It's I love people, man. So like that's like really important to me.
I mean, with COVID and when that hit, and my whole family just freaking got it last week. And it was
Wow.
scary because my parents had it when it first hit, and it was very serious. But now it's
Absolutely.
very lighter. It's
Yeah.
lighter. The symptoms are not as bad.
Yep.
It's not a fear anymore. So those are, if you've never had it, guys, it's I don't want you to have it,
Yep.
but
You'll be okay. You'll be
you could
okay.
deal with it.
Yeah, you'll be okay. Yeah.
Travel before, I used to travel a lot. Where's a favorite that you guys like to go besides Florida? Do you go to the Caribbean? Do you like to go overseas, go to Europe? Any
Yeah.
of those type of destinations?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I would love to be a little bit more traveled, man. I mean, we've gone to a bunch of different states in the US. My wife likes to go to Mexico, so we've been there multiple times. So that's always a fun time. But yeah, my hope, Puerto Rico is beautiful as well. I've been to Puerto Rico several times. So that's always a great, beautiful place to go. But yeah, one of my dreams, and I'm going to hopefully accomplish that very, very soon, is to go into to Europe. I really want to go to Italy. I've never been, and so I want to, go to Rome and like see the Tiber River and like all that fun stuff. So. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Also, go see the Northern Lights. I'd love to do that and experience that. And yeah, there's a handful of places I'd like to go. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get to that soon.
Hey, it's manifesting right now. You put it out into the universe. Everyone, we have a lot of witnesses. It's going to happen. It's something that
Absolutely. I'm
I tell
ready.
people all the time. Just think what you want, and that's what's on your mind, and you're going to accomplish it. You're going to have that success or whatever you're looking to do. It'll
Yep.
happen. It's all
Absolutely.
that mindset. Now, are you one that likes to read, or are you one like that does the audio books, or you don't read at all? How do you get your content, or how do you learn? Currently.
Yeah, man. I do a little bit of everything, man. I've got hard copy books. I've got tons of audio books that I do refer to, especially when I'm driving. I can throw it on and kind of, just get information. YouTube, a lot of YouTube, man. I spend a lot of time on YouTube, just on every topic, from sales and marketing to entrepreneurship to business to even just like life stuff, just kind of
Mm.
like personal development. I'm big into personal development and spending time just getting better and being, I'm pretty self-aware, but becoming even more self-aware, doubling down on my strengths, leveraging my weaknesses. Those are the things that I spend a lot of time kind of absorbing. And yeah, I love consuming information, man. Education is very important to me. I spend a lot of time doing that. And again, audiobooks, paper books, probably less paper books, more audiobooks, and YouTube are probably my top two educational mediums.
Excellent. If those that are watching, do you like to get your content on YouTube, or are you reading any great books you could recommend? Drop a comment. We would love. I would love to see what others are reading, because yes, I'm into the sales, the marketing, the mindset, the Tony Robbins type of stuff, the Grant
Right.
Cardone,
Yeah.
Gary V. You know,
Yep.
these are things that I think the more, and then people say, what that is where you can use for content for your video that you're putting out there, because you're learning from these books.
Yep.
That's just an idea that you can utilize, and I've used in the past as well, because nobody wants to read. So you put that out there, that you learn this, and this from this author. Boom, that your content, it's golden. People are thinking about you without even selling anything.
Yep. Yep. You can use it as your own commentary. You can create a channel just based on Jim Rohn's motivational quotes, right? You can do all kinds of different things. So yeah, I encourage everybody to find new ways and just find something that you enjoy. If you like talking about dogs and you volunteer at the shelter, take some videos of you at the shelter and, hanging out with dogs and talk about the different breeds and what the animals that come in and go through. And, there's a million ways to create content. Just focus on something you're passionate about. It'll all flow together.
No doubt. I know it says with the 7-ton garden gnome, readers are leaders. That's very true. It's something that you have to learn your craft. You have to pick up some nuggets of information. We have
Absolutely.
Web Talk Music. If you don't like to read, try audiobooks.
That's right.
It's
It's
that,
great.
what is it? Zig Ziglar had the
Same.
audio university. He used
Yeah.
to kind of market, and you're spending time in the car, use it wisely. If you're not with anyone else, bettering yourself is a great thing to do for you and your family, your relationships, etc.
Absolutely. Yeah. Audiobooks are major, man, because you can kind of do it as you're driving. You can't read a paper book while you're driving, right?
Yeah.
But you can throw in an audiobook and kind of have it playing and you may not absorb everything, right? You may miss some things, but the fact that it's kind of just playing in your background, one little quote might change everything for you. So definitely make investments in yourself and educate yourself.
Let's go down like the mindset conversation. As far as in your past, is there any things that you can share, maybe in business, that you had some failures that you want to share with us, and some success that you had recently?
That's a great question, man. So I guess I don't really consider anything a true failure, right? Because you only fail when you stop, right? You only fail when you give up completely. I look at every opportunity as a learning opportunity, and if it's something that if I didn't hit my mark that I wanted to hit, that just means that I learned on now what to do in order to hit that mark and exceed that mark. So, I've taken some learning lessons in the real estate world with renovations and doing house flipping and things like that. Got some learning lessons there. I mean, even I put some money, put thousands of dollars behind like a marketing campaign that I thought was going to yield me, some initial results that I didn't see a lot from that. So, that was kind of just money that it feels like it went down the drain, but I actually learned a lot. I learned about what I should be looking for if I'm going to hire a marketing company, and then if I have some troubles, how do I handle it? Acting faster. That's one of the things. One of the things that this is actually a huge learning lesson for me, and I've in reflection recently thought about this. Every single time that I've debated or tried to mull over a decision to decide whether or not I actually wanted to move forward with it, it's always the thing that's cost me the most money by doing that. So I've always lost more money through the wasting of time, right?
Right.
By not acting and deciding sooner. And that's been probably one of the things that I've taught myself in experiencing these kind of hurdles, is that you got to make decisions quickly. It's not to make them hastily in the sense of you're not making it with informed, being informed,
Right.
or making without information. But it's like when you have a good solid pieces of information, just make the decision. Don't decide and mull it over and kick the can down the road to say, you know what, oh, I don't know if I should do that. Well, let me try this person because I think maybe they might be able to save me some money. You end up losing money by doing that. So get a couple good solid pieces of information, create that quick foundation, go with your gut instinct and just commit to it. And guess what? If it's the wrong decision, you'll learn from it and you'll move on. And now, but at least you can fail sooner,
Right.
right? Well, fail early, fail often, as they say. So that's a big learning lesson for me is just making decisions quicker. And some of the successes that I've had, man, that's a great question, man. I feel like I have like many successes every day because I'm always developing. And so, yeah, I mean, some of the successes I feel like are really bringing my smart home company to a level where I can offer and be a very professional service. That to me is a really, it's a successful moment for me because when you start a business, there's a lot of gaps. You don't even realize the hurdles that you're going to have to go through, where you're going to maybe not deliver on an expectation for a customer, not deliver, on something that you're building because you didn't understand where the fail points were. Well, I feel really good about where we are in our business now, and I have really great contacts and great services and great platform and software and everything. I feel like so good about where I'm at, and I'm just ready to kind of explode on, the marketplace with everything we've been doing, man. So in terms of successes, I think it's bringing Superhome to a level right now where I feel really, really confident that whatever my customers ask of me, I can deliver strongly. I have systems in place and all those types of things that take a long time to develop. So
Appreciate what you were saying, man. The reflection piece is important. Yes, all the successful failed constantly. You have to try, fail, learn. That's how it happens. And I love the success story. Yes, we're always having great things daily. It could be
always.
weekly, it could be monthly. A lot of you have goals, and it's an important thing to continue focusing on the goals to have that success, and you can actually see it. That's a very powerful thing. And I know we're short on time, but I want to go into the use of social media. How important is that to your business right now? And what kind of tips can you give those that are watching to make their posts better, make them more consistent on what they're doing? Because I found that posting, there's certain things that you should be doing that some just say, oh, I don't have the time, but everyone has the time. It's just all about creating a habit.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Social media is a huge part of my business. I mean, most of my leads will come from either organic Google searches or like a Facebook or Instagram. Facebook has been huge for me. My real estate investor community that I'm a part of, which is probably 85% of my customer base, comes from my Facebook feed. I mean, I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of real estate related, contacts on Facebook. So when I post, a lot of the people that are seeing it are in that industry, which is great because that's my target market. So I wouldn't say just generate pieces of content because I've been doing this for many years. And I wouldn't say just generate pieces of content about what you think that your audience wants to see. You really got to get to learn who your customers are and who your audience is. Build those relationships first because nobody wants to be constantly sold to, but people do want to be educated and they do want to feel like you're a trusted resource. And so being a natural person to have conversations with people and create value, I think that's the best way to advertise on social media. Create value, meaning if you are, let's go back to the, like the animal lover thing. Right? Let's say that you're a dog walker. If you're a dog walker, don't go on social media and put a flyer up like, hey, hire me to walk your dog. Call me now at 215. That's fine. You may get some customers there to say, oh, you know what? I really need a dog walker. But why are you going to be trusted? Why should somebody hire you? So instead, create some value. Say, hey, I'm a dog walker. I've been a dog walker for the last, 6 months. Here's what I've learned about some of these breeds, right? Because if you have this type of breed, I found I've been able to, take care of these dogs better by knowing a little bit more about that particular breed and how they react and their temperament and things like that. And then somebody's like, wow, that person actually cares about my, Catahoula, leopard dog. Right. And it's like, oh, they really care. They care enough to really do research and understand the value, understand how to, how to take care of that animal. And I trust this person with giving them my dog. Of course I want to hire them. Right. So now you just gained a customer because you show that you actually are passionate and you care about your craft. So that would be the number one thing, is to think about how you can create value first for your customers on social media, and you build that relationship and that trust. Then you can ask for the sale later,
Yep.
when you built that rapport. So that would be my number one tip for anyone trying to advertise on social media, is to not come out of the gate selling, but instead create some value. That doesn't mean you have to teach, right? A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to teach anybody anything on it. Doesn't mean you have to teach. It just means that you share your expertise in a manner that displays that you actually care about what you're talking about. So that would be like my number one piece of advice.
Well said, man. And if you want to go around town and interview all other business owners, they're in front of the camera, let them talk, and then just say, thanks, for your time, and say your name, your phone number. And it's just, you're giving value with the town, the city. You're giving first rather than
Yes,
asking for a handout right off the bat.
that's right. You got to give first, man. They say asking you shall receive, but I really feel like, creating value and delivering that value first and creating relationship first is the number one thing. Even today, I met with a distributor of security equipment today, and I met with the owners of this business, and they were all about like, hey, what can we do to help you? And before we even ended the conversation, I said, look, I appreciate everything you guys are doing. You're giving me all like, I can get a discount on this and I can get this. But I asked them, I was like, what can I do for you? Right? How can I create value for your business? Because if I can help you, and not that I didn't say this, but I know that if I help them, that in turn, like, we're going to have a great relationship. So they were kind of impressed. They were like, whoa, I mean, just bring us more, more installers or more, more customers. Like, absolutely. I'd love to do that because you're showing, love to me. And so I'd like to reciprocate that law of reciprocity. Right.
Yes.
So yeah, man, I love it. I love it. The ability to build relationships with people is the number one way to have success in your business. And, it's of course it's going to be rocky, for a little while, but eventually you're going to get your momentum, even like you starting this, right? You have 33 episodes now on Web Talk, Shawn. I mean,
Yep.
when you first started, I'm sure it wasn't as smooth as, it is today, right? You learned a lot. So that's the best thing about it.
You learn, you add. In the beginning, I didn't have these overlays. I didn't have, I've
Right.
added lighting and
Right.
microphone, all that stuff from compared to the past. Even when I do my other shows, my Connection Conversation show. It's just something that you, over time, consistently doing it, you build your personal brand. And that's better than anything else. So they're going to buy whatever you're selling because they trust you. So
That's
it's
right.
not just sitting here, but use me for insurance, use you for smart home. No, we're going to give you value because you're part of a team, overall team, and we're all working together to help that person. Finding
Yeah,
out their pain points. That's what the goals are.
that's right.
Solutions to problems.
That's right. And people do business with who they know, like, and trust, right? It's those three things. And just create value to people and just be passionate about what you do. Everything else comes along with it. People know that I love technology. I've been in the space for so long. And, it's easy for me to have these conversations, and people can tell I'm enthusiastic about it because I am. And I want to help them create a better living experience, right? One of the slogans for our business is, don't just live in your home, experience it, right? We want your home to be a place where when you come home, the house kind of comes alive for you, right? The perfect lighting temperature, the temperature of the home, certain music that might come on, your TV comes on, everything kind of automates around your home to create a great living experience for you and your family. And I've experienced that. I've created that experience for my wife. She loves it, and our family, right? My family and friends all love the experience. I want to be able to provide that to more people. So by being that kind of passionate about whatever you do and whatever your business is, everything is going to work out. So
Well done, man. Lou, guys, reach out to Lou. All his information's in the description of the YouTube channel on this video. Check him out on Web Talk. Connect with him there as well. If you want to give him a call, pick his brain. He's a wealth of knowledge, definitely a good buddy of mine. And I appreciate you spending time with us, Lou. And for everyone that's watching, we hope you have, wherever you are on the world, have an awesome rest of your day.
thank you. See ya.